Ooh, we feeling good today. 3, 2, 1, said bait, 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 bait. Oh, who's on my line? Who's on my line? I'm blowing up. These bitches calling me bait, bait, bait. What? What? I snatch your girl if she slipping. She's on my line like I'm fishing. I got that work, 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 work. Yeah, you know I got that work. I'm why baby mamas leave. I'm why baby fathers kirk. In real life, work, work, work. I snatch your girl if she slipping. That ABP on a mission. I got that. Hey, yo, welcome back to another episode of the Artist Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry the third. Woo! What a day it has been today. I'm so glad I can spend the rest of my day just looking at you guys, experiencing this moment with you guys. This is a very special moment that we're in. If you guys don't know, because this is the only moment, this is like the only time we'll have this exact moment in our lives, right? Listen, I've been hearing a lot of discourse online. I've been seeing a lot of hip hop discourse online. I've been trying to stay away from that side of social media, but you know, I can't help myself but just to travel, just to skedaddle on that side. You know, I just can't help myself. And I've been seeing a lot of discourse. I've been seeing a lot of discourse on Outkast, a lot of discourse on Wale, a lot of discourse on Cole. We'll get to that discourse a little later. But I'm just saying, like, we just need to put respect on a lot of these artists' name. And also, y'all are so lucky I am no longer cursing y'all out. Y'all are so lucky I've flipped that page and I've turned that chapter of my life. Y'all are so lucky I'm not doing that no more. And I'm civilized, and now I act like I have some sense. Eric, what are we going to talk about today, Eric? So listen, we got a lot of things to talk about. I have an amazing life update. The life update that's going to be the key focus of the prompts that are going to happen today. Also, shout out to everybody who showed love to the prompts that happened last Wednesday. I think I'm going to do them every Wednesday pod. So shout out to y'all who show love to that. So boom, we're going to do the prompts. First, I'm going to get to my subtopic, and that's going to be like kind of like the focus of today. Then we're going to talk about Cole and how I think Cole is reigniting the fire of the blog era, and he's doing it in a masterful way. And lastly, we're going to talk about y'all favorite guy, y'all's guy, y'all man. That's y'all man. That ain't my man. That's y'all man. Diddy, and how his lawyer done dropped him from the case. Well, he didn't drop him from the case, but he said, I'm done with this. We're going to get there. Don't worry about it. Listen, man, if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Oh no, if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, please give me a 5-star and a review. Just say that this is the greatest podcast you have ever heard in your life, and that will suffice. If you are listening on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a pod. All right, so boom, let's just jump straight into it. First thing on the docket. Listen, man, itchy eyes. All right, so boom, y'all did so great first week with the prompt, so I'm not even going to give y'all any explanation of what this is before we go into it. Let's just go straight into it. All right, first prompt: list all of the people that you consider close friends. Anybody, right? And if you come on here and say that you don't have any friends, I don't know how to help you at this point. This is 2 weeks in a row. First, you don't know when you did something fun. Now you don't have any friends. I don't even know how to. Itchy eyes. Who would have known so much realization would have happened over itchy freaking eyes, dog? All right, so boom, what am I talking about, Eric? Eric, what are you talking about? What are you speaking about? Itchy eyes, what does that mean, right? Okay, so boom, I was at church on Sunday, right? I was at church, we had a guest speaker. Shout out to the guest speaker. I don't remember his name, but it was a great guy, right? Great guy, great guest speaker, right? And while we was at church, I always get prayer at church from like our prayer team. Just like over the week, I just like let them, like whatever the Lord tells them to like pray over me, I just let them do their thing. You know, I don't really ask for anything, ask for a problem, be like, oh, can I have prayer over this? Now I just, you know, allow them to do their thing. Whatever they feel the Holy Spirit saying, I just let the Holy Spirit move through them, right? So boom, the guy, I'm in line for prayer. The line is super long. The line's never usually long this week, but the guest speaker just prayed. He just preached the house down. Like, it was crazy. So the line is super long, and I'm like all the way in the back of the line. And he starts like calling out like prayer requests. He was like, man, the Lord's telling me like somebody needs like prayer for like a right hip, right? Like they're like right hips injured, and the lady came running to the front to go get prayer for it, right? I was like, oh, okay, cool, right? Somebody else needs prayer for something else, and somebody else needs prayer for something else. So all of these prayer pockets are happening right in the middle of the church, and I'm just standing there waiting to get prayer for something totally unrelated to what he's saying, until he says, okay, I feel like somebody needs prayer for itchy eyes. Now, if you guys don't know, I have really bad allergies, like really bad allergies. I can't stay outside during the springtime for a very long time, for more than 10 minutes if I didn't take my allergy medicine. Like, I have to take my allergy medicine before I leave the house. If I don't, it's going to be a really bad day. So he was like, man, I feel like somebody needs prayer for itchy eyes. My eyes have been itching the entire week really, really bad, and I don't know why. Itchy eyes usually isn't an allergy symptom for me. So I was like, man, I think he's talking to me, but I didn't raise my hand because that's embarrassing. Nigga, you getting prayer over itchy eyes? Like, itchy eyes? You're praying, you having people pray over you over itchy eyes? So I didn't get prayer. I didn't put my hand up. But then he said this, but somebody did. And he was like, okay, that's one person. I feel like there's another person with itchy eyes, right? So I was like, okay, that's odd. That's odd. Itchy eyes. Okay, that's odd. Another person with itchy eyes. Another person raised their hand up. I was like, okay, cool. So it wasn't for me. It was just a coincidence. But then he said, all right, cool. 2 people. That's cool. I feel like there's one more person with itchy eyes, right? I feel like one more person who has struggling with itchy eyes. So I reluctantly, very reluctantly, raised my hand. Because I was at the point, I was like, okay, you're talking to me. Like, okay, well, first time, coincidence. Second time, all right, that's crazy. Third time, though, like 3 times, all right, I'm not going to ignore you the third time. All right, yes, my eyes have been itching. It's been bothering me. It's been annoying. That's not what I want. That's not what I want prayer for, but that's what I'm going to get prayer for during this moment. All right, forget it. Itchy eyes, boom, hand raised, right? Cool. So I was sitting where I was sitting in church. I was sitting by some of my friends, and some of my friends looked back while, like, when I raised my hand, they looked back to see who raised, the hand, and they saw it was me, and they came rushing over to come pray over me, right? And I think it's so important, right? And this is like beyond just a Christian thing, right? This is just a friendship thing. It's so important for you to have friends, even with little circumstances that you see as big things, to care about it as much as you do, right? It's so imperative. Even itchy eyes, bro, itchy eyes, and they care enough about me caring enough to come and rush over to me to pray over me over these itchy eyes, right? Again, it's itchy eyes. You can just scratch them and it's gonna go away. It's not like a broken hip. It's not like a broken foot. No, like it's literally one little and you can go on about your day, right? So I see my friends, they came over, and it made me feel comfortable because I didn't want like a whole bunch of strangers praying over me, because he was like, all right, everybody who just raised their hand, the people around them, you're just going to come pray over them, right? And I didn't want a whole bunch of strangers praying over me, so I was glad that I had friends there, right? So as we're sitting there praying, we're praying, Lord, da, 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 I'm receiving prayer, my eyes are starting to feel better. I hear somebody behind me. Now, mind you, my 2 friends that I saw come up to me, I'm like touching them. So I'm facing towards them, and I have my hands on them. They have their hands on me. So I hear somebody else behind me, and they say, yeah, Lord, we just want to thank you for Eric. And I was like, oh, Lord, you having random strangers just call my name. You telling random strangers my name, Lord. You are moving. You are shaking through this place. Amen. Hallelujah. I almost broke out of tongues I was like, dang, that's a random stranger, Lord. Then prayer stops. Prayer's done, right? Everybody's asking me how I feel. So I'm starting to look around to see who I have to thank. So I see my 2 friends first. I thank them. I see a random lady standing in front of me. I thank them. Then I look behind me. It's 2 more of my friends that I didn't even know were there, but they saw me, so they came rushing up to pray over me over these itchy eyes as well. At this moment, I started to get overwhelmed. All right, now that you know who your close friends are, how much do they pour into you, and do you pour into them? Now, what I mean by that is, how much do they give you, right? And not give you like monetarily, but do they give you time? Do they give you effort, an ear, a shoulder to lay on, right? And do you do the same thing for your friends? One, because yes, itchy eyes, cool. God is a healer. He healed my eyes. I can now see and not scratch my eyes, right? I'm feeling great. However, there is so much love around me right now, and knowing that I have love around me in New York City is a crazy thing that a lot of people don't necessarily feel, right? In the like true love, like true authentic relationship where people actually care about you and care about the things that you care about, right? If like whether it's big or small, like I said previously. So I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, like this is crazy. Like you guys like took like you guys like prayed like over me over itchy freaking eyes, dude. Like that's crazy. And I'm looking around and like I feel myself starting to get emotional, and I'm not a crier. I hate crying. Crying is like one of like the top two things I hate the most. Is number one is that little feeling you get in your stomach when you riding in roller coasters. That's number one for sure. Number two is crying. I hate crying. So, but I feel myself starting to get emotional, right? And when I cry, it's never like one or two tears. It's boo-hoo, sobbing, like backed up. It's like my tear ducts are backed up and they just need to release everything that I've been going through since the last time I cried. So I'm having one of those moments right now. So I'm trying to stop myself from crying and like explaining to them how I feel. But out of nowhere, just an outpour of tears happen. And I just start crying, right? And my friends around me, they've never seen me cry or shed a tear. They haven't seen me nothing but like my regular happy, joyful self. So them seeing me like crying and breaking down, right? And them and like me like in so little words, and also this random lady standing in front of me as well. Just me trying to, in so many words, well, so few words, I should say, explain to them how much them doing that small gesture meant to me personally. I could barely get the words out. So the lady in front of me, the random lady that I don't know, I didn't even get her name. She was like, yeah, can we just pray Thanksgiving over him, right? If you don't know what that means, just like that's just like praying to God, just saying like how thankful you are for like the person you're praying over, right? So all of them just was basically saying how like thankful they are over me and just like receiving like words of affirmation that the Lord gives them. That's basically what like praying Thanksgiving is, right? You can also pray Thanksgivings to the Lord. You can also pray Thanksgivings. You can pray Thanksgiving to like anything, right? So there was praying Thanksgivings, and yeah, man, like just having people like again, and for me, it was such a small thing, right? But I know this message is like it's a bigger message here that I'm trying to get to. Just bear with me. So again, it was such a small thing, right? Like, damn, itchy eyes. Like, who would have known itchy eyes would have led to all of this? But they're praying like words of affirmation over me. They're praying like they're prophesying over me. They're telling me that I am loved. They're telling me that the Lord is proud of me. They're telling me that how much they love me. They're telling me like the love of the Lord is just surrounding me right now. All things that I needed to hear at that moment, right? So every time they reaffirm me or they give me or they prophesy or they say something different, I just start bawling again, like literally like just tears just start coming out, and I just start pouring out tears and tears and tears and tears and tears, right? So after they do all of that, the lady ends up leaving to get prayer. I didn't see her after church. I was trying to look for her after church to just like tell her thank you so much. But like I couldn't find her after that, right? But my friends stayed and they were around me, and I was like, could then explain to them. I was like, listen, man, when I first came to New York City, I felt so alone. This was my first time away from my parents. I didn't have no friends for like months. I was just going to class, going back to my dorm, smoking as much weed as I can to like kill all the pain that I was going through. And I was just like, man, like this was like a really tough time for me. But like just knowing that you guys being around me, like that care about me, that love me, that I can call on, that are willing to pray over me over itchy freaking eyes, bro, over itchy eyes, dog, itchy eyes. Like it's one thing if like they're praying over like a broken heart or they're praying over like a broken toe or like something like broken or something like an internal battle like depression, anxiety, whatever the case may be, right? But over itchy eyes, bro, something so simple, something so small, something so silly. But since it was bothering me, it was also bothering them, and they knew and they wanted to help me be as 100% as possible in their power, right? So I say this to say to you, and I think this is an amazing thing to open up with. Who is scratching your eyes? That can be literal or figurative. Who are the people around you? Are the people around you willing to scratch your eyes? Are the people around you willing to tie your shoes? Are the people around you willing to do this very, very small things, the very small things, right? Because that just showed me if you're willing to do something so small, then they're willing to do something super big as well, right? Like that was super small. That was super small and mean, and like it could be meaningless to most people, right? But to me, it was such a big deal because it meant so much more than just itchy eyes. It meant like people around you genuinely love you enough to come and pray or just help you out with something so small, right? So who's around you helping scratch your eyes when they itch, right? Who's around you helping tie your shoes? Who's around you that can help you with the little small things that we might overlook or we might not see as important or we might catch as annoying? Right? But other people are like, no, this is bothering you. This is an inconvenience for you. I'm going to help you get over this inconvenience. I think that's important that we pinpoint those people and we acknowledge who those people are in our lives, right? I just gave away like most of the prompt in that one thing, but it's fine. Y'all are going to forget by the time we keep going down the road. But yes, I feel like it's very important for you to figure that out and pinpoint those people in your life because those people are so vital and so important to just your growth and who you become, because they're going to end up leading you into being the person that not only you want to be, but the person they see you being, right? So those people to lift you up when you're down, whether it's big or small, are very, very important. Shout out to Michael, Bethany, Camden, Laura, Sarah, Kinsley. Shout out to you guys for just being there. Right? Shout out to you guys for just being there, man. You guys are great. Love you guys forever. For lifers, for shoresies. All right, next thing on the docket. Let's get into some hip hop. Enough of that sentimental. Let's get into some hip hop. Let's turn up. Listen, man, the GOAT, Jermaine Lamar Cole, he has dropped a song on his blog, actually, entitled Clouds. Now, it's spelled lowercase c, capital L-O-U-D, lowercase s. If you want to check it out, it is now on streaming. But this release was initially a blog release, right? It was initially a blog release. So, in a blog post, J. Cole wrote a note saying, just wanted to share, made this a few days ago, then I added a second verse, and I was like, man, I got a blog now. I can put whatever I want up there. I didn't have a title 20 minutes ago when I decided to really put this up, but now I have one. Clouds, produced by DZL, Omen, and a small contributions from me. This song is a rapping masterclass. When you talk about a masterclass of rapping and skill and knowing how to flow and put words together and being a real student, and not only a student but a master at what you do, this is the personification of it, right? And not only that, but also teaching us, well, at least showing us what he sees as he's getting older. So in the chorus, right, it says, this word is changing right in front of me. Oh, well, I'm just going to read the whole thing. My niggas been smoking on something loud, head to the clouds. I ain't been stepping out, tired of sticking out in the crowd. This world is changing right in front of me. Gray hairs, I'm aging quicker than I thought I'd be, right? So this song is basically, especially the second verse, is a huge highlight on how he sees the world now as an older guy, right? As a guy who has gray hairs, as a guy who has children, as a guy who is married, right? Just highlighting and showcasing, hey, what do all of these things mean for a almost 40-year-old man, right? All of these gray hairs that's coming. He speaks about the world that we're living in. He speaks out about greedy billionaires running the country. He speaks out on AI. He speaks out. One of the last bars he says is, before long, all the songs the whole world sings will be generated by the latest AI regimes, as all your favorite artists erase by screams from the wayside. Hey, whatever happens to human beings? This guy is crazy, and the flow that he chooses to use is crazy. He also talks about like how, hey, like at one point in time, I was defined by like what I was writing, right? In my rhymes, right? And how like when I thought I lost it, when I thought I lost how good I could rap, I felt like I lost a piece of myself. But all in reality, I just thank God that, like, no, he just gave me this gift to do this thing. And it was crazy, right? This is such a crazy, crazy, crazy song. Such a great rap song. If you haven't listened to it yet, please do listen to it. Do not take my word for it. Please go listen to it yourself. So, Eric, if this is such a great rap song, if Cole was doing his thing, if he wasn't saying nothing crazy, no beef stuff, no none of that, he was just rapping about getting older, right? Then what is the problem? Lord knows. Lord knows, Stink. Lord knows. Listen, before we get to the problem, I want to get to a very high positive that I noticed, right? Cole is trying to reignite the blog era feelings. Now, if you don't know, Cole has a blog on his Inevitable website where he posted the podcast. We talked about Cole's podcast like a long time ago, like a way back in them pod episodes, right? I don't remember. But we talked about Cole having a blog and him posting things on his blog, how he posted podcast episodes on there with him, Ebe, and I think the other guy's name is Sean or something. And he on this blog, he realized, hey, I can post whatever I want, so I want to post this song, right? But the only way you can access this blog, you have to pay like $10 up front for like everything, and you can get all the content that's on the blog. It's like a one-time payment fee for $10. Boom, right? The reason I say that he's reigniting the blog era, and why I think this is really what hip hop needs, not no beef, not none of that. What it really needs is a leader in the culture to do something like this, right? Because it is directly showing us what the system can be if we all kind of remove ourselves from the label aspect of things, right? If we widen our eyes and be like, whoa, okay, hold on. You mean to tell me that I can make my own blog, I can put up anything that I want on here, and now Cole owns his masters. So now I own my masters as well. I can literally do anything I want. Cole has more leverage in the game than people think. He has way more leverage. He has an established label with established artists, with award-winning artists. I think JID had to win an award or nominated for an award for the Forever Project or something, for the Forever Story, at least something, right? But he has he has a great talented group, an established label with 2 projects. He's an established rapper himself who now owns his masters, and he has a blog. And he has a licensing deal with his label. So the label doesn't, I think he has a licensing deal with Interscope. So now Interscope doesn't have much of a, like, it's not like Drake and UMG's licensing deal where Drake, and we're going to touch on Drake in the whole 100 gigs for your head top thing a little later, but it's not the same thing what UMG did with Drake's 100 gigs. Cole and Interscope, and what I think, have a pretty good, if not decent, relationship, right? But I think the labels are missing out on how Cole is leveraging these things that he's doing, and he's using his leverage to his benefit. And I wouldn't be surprised if the album dropped on his blog, first, before it dropped on streaming platforms. And then the sales from that, the actual hardcore sales from it dropping on the blog, hey, you paid $10. Think about it. You paid $10 to be in my Inevitable, like in my blog or whatever, right? To listen to the podcast, to watch the 2014 Forest Hills Drive reunion show, to do all of these things, right? You paid $10 to enjoy all of this. Bet. How much does an album cost? An album costs on iTunes or wherever you buy albums from, it also costs $10. Okay, cool. So bet. How many people have paid $10 for the Inevitable thing, right? Let's just say 20,000 people paid the $10 for, right? Cool. That now can contribute for 20,000 album sales because they bought it on this is how the packages go with artists, right? This is how artists can like package things. They bought it on the website, and now everybody who bought the album on the website or who bought access to the website now also gets the Fall Off or It's a Boy or whatever the next album will be, they also get it on the website. So whoever, and it's way more than 20,000. I'm pretty sure it's way more than 20,000 people who bought the Inevitable package, right? But pause. But I'm just saying, I'm just using 20,000, just throwing it out as a number. But whoever bought it now has that album, and now those can contribute to the sales of the album. And that's where I think he's going with this. I might be wrong. I might be like shooting at nothing right now, eyes closed, shooting at nothing. But I think I'm close to something, though. I do think I'm close to something, only because I think this is the same thing Drake was trying to do with the 100 gigs thing. He was trying to post a whole bunch of content. He was trying to post new songs, like unreleased songs, unfinished songs, and a whole bunch of other things to keep his fans and audience engaged after the beef, right? But the only problem is it was after he just lost the beef. And right now is Kendrick's time, and you're taking away, not only are you suing UMG, so we're going to keep what you do in a very short minimum, right? Like UMG isn't even investing money in radio play for Drake's songs. Like I saw a graph the other day, and like Drake's songs aren't even getting spinned that much on the radio. Like Nokia isn't getting any spins. Give Me a Hug is not getting any spins. Like Drake isn't really getting spins on his radio on radio, right? However, these songs are still performing well because, well, Drake is just a high commodity, right? And Nokia is a good song. I like Nokia. Give Me a Hug, it's all right, but like I can see why people like these songs, right? And it's Drake, so Drake's always gonna Drake. I think Drake just took back the #1 spot on Apple for like the #1 song or something. Like him and Kendrick are really playing tennis, really going back and forth with this #1 spot thing. Anyway, so yeah, I really do think that Drake, excuse me, really tried to do the same thing Cole is doing with the Inevitable thing. He tried to do with the 100 gigs thing. However, UMG shut that down. Like, hey, Playboy, hey, don't think it's sweet over here. We just try to catch you suing. Don't think it's sweet, Playboy. We're going to go over here, handle this quietly. You're going to take all of these things down. You're going to post these songs on streaming platforms because that's what you're just going to do. And then we're going to act like none of this ever happened, right? So I think Drake's idea would have worked if he had a better relationship with his label. However, Cole, on the other hand, he can do these things because it's Cole. And he has a great relationship with his label, and he has a great fan base that's going to show up every time for things like this, right? And not only is his fan base great, he has a lot of haters out there that's going to look either way. So no matter what, as for any artist, right? Any artist, they have a lot of haters just out in the world that's going to pay attention to whatever's going on with them because, hey, you're the artist, right? We're going to pay attention to what you do because you're the nigga that I hate. So I have to pay attention to everything that you do. Cole just has that, right? So it might be fans, it might be haters. Either way, the shit counts to album sales. So, hey, I can't really say much on that end. But I think this is very important for hip hop. And I say this is the reason this is what hip hop needs is because it needs a new way. Like hip hop is kind of the business model of hip hop is getting a little stale now because the labels are finding a way to be like, okay, now we're going to capitalize you off this way. Okay, you're finding a loophole over this. All right, we're going to give you this deal. We're going to do the X, Y, and Z, right? But the more the artists realize, hey, I have this amount of power and I can do whatever I want with this power. And now that I own pretty much everything, why won't I just do everything that I can with what I own, right? Same thing kind of like what LaRussell's doing, right? LaRussell is the perfect example of what an independent artist can do while being independent. LaRussell just performed at goddamn All-Star Weekend. You can't really tell me anything about LaRussell at this point. Like, he just performed at All-Star Weekend, and an independent guy who is doing everything his way on his terms just performed at All-Star Weekend. So again, there's not really any rules to this. I think Cole is trying to break down the walls and kind of see what he can do and how to navigate with these next couple of music releases. And don't be surprised if these next couple releases, if Cole just starts releasing Lucy's or Cole releases a mini project, like an EP or something on this blog. Do not be surprised if that happens. Last thing on this topic that before we get to the diddler, right? Freddie Gibbs had a lot to say on Cole. Well, he didn't have a lot to say, but he had some things to say on Cole and on the song that was released, right? So when the song was released shortly after, Gibbs responded with a yawn emoji on X, Twitter. We're not going to call that app by a stripper name. Then took things further on Instagram using his burner account. You only die once. He wrote, "Niggas be rapping about how they kill rappers and kill their careers and blah blah blah, but he backing out of rap beefs." Then he added laughing, thinking, and yawning emojis. Then he said, then he went double back and said, "Hell yeah, Cole, I ain't even mad at you. This motherfucker hard, bro. I'm a ball you in your own shit. Come get this work, nigga." And moments later, he dunked in Cole's Puma kicks, celebrating the shot. Listen. All right. Listen, Freddie, Mr. Gibbs. Listen, Mr. Gibbs is a fantastic rapper. Let's not get it twisted. I see a lot of Cole fans supporting Cole, as you should, and a lot of people saying Cole will smoke Freddie Gibbs. No. Freddie Gibbs is more talented than you think. Just because Freddie Gibbs isn't mainstream, mainly because, in my opinion, Freddie Gibbs has trouble with making songs, right? And I saw somebody on TikTok say that, like, oh no, Freddie Gibbs, when it comes to song making, Freddie Gibbs is better. If Freddie Gibbs was a good song maker, he would be mainstream. Like, one of the main things, like, it's a lot of niggas that are mainstream that aren't good rappers, but they are good song makers. Like, think about Drake. Drake isn't nearly as good of a rapper as he once was. Or maybe he is, he's just not showcasing it. But Drake knows how to make a song. So Drake's always going to be everywhere because he knows how to make a song. Same thing with Kendrick, same thing with Cole. These niggas just know how to make songs. Freddie Gibbs comes from the underground rap scene where, nigga, I don't have to make songs. All I have to do is rap. And the people who love underground rap, they're going to love me because I can rap. I don't have to know song structure and how to make songs. Freddie Gibbs didn't have to go through the needing a hit type thing that Cole went through when he was trying to put out his first album. Or Freddie Gibbs isn't an automatic hit maker like Drake, or like would you call Kendrick an automatic hit maker? I would. Or he's not an automatic hit maker like Kendrick. He's not an automatic hit maker like these guys, right? So let's not get it twisted. Just because he's not that doesn't mean that he's not great at rapping. But also, I do think Freddie Gibbs has too much dip on his chip. I do love that Freddie Gibbs thinks that Cole is like a guy to play with, as do probably a lot of rappers, right? Think Cole is the guy to play with because he backed out of the beef with Kendrick. But let's not forget, the reason Cole backed out of the beef with Kendrick is because him and Kendrick, well, at least to him, I don't know how Kendrick feels, but at least to Cole, they are or were friends, right? When the beef started. So he was like, I don't really want to do this to my brother, right? I don't want to do this to my friend. I don't want to go this route with my guy, right? I thought this was going to be a friendly rap beef. I don't want to go this way with my guy. Freddie Gibbs, I don't know if you and Cole are guys or not. So I don't think those same rules apply to you. And I think that's what the most people, all the media guys are missing. The rules apply differently when it's your friend. If me and my friend are getting to it, the chances of me swinging on my friend are very small compared to me swinging on a stranger. Like, nigga, I know him. So we can talk to each other any type of way because we built that rapport and that relationship. Nigga, I don't know you. So I will kill you. I will hurt you. I will not... I will make this. I don't have no type of sympathy towards you. I have sympathy and empathy towards them. I know him. I know his family. I know his mama. I've been to his house. We've been on the road together. We made songs together. Nigga, I don't know you. I will kill you, right? And the line that got Freddie Gibbs so upset is this line right here. I charter unseen territories in order to push it farther than you niggas ever thought of. I caught a lot of murder charges, turn artists to martyrs. That's a bar. When I rock, thought turns to goddess. That's the line that got Freddie Gibbs in, like, you know, in in a frenzy, right? Mainly I caught a lot of murder charges turn artists to martyrs, right? And Freddie Gibbs, rightfully so, was like, well, you talking about how you gonna kill rappers, but back out of the beef, blase, 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 blah, right? Hold on, let's do this real quick, because I feel like people think you can only kill a rapper if you're going at them, like going at them with the disses, right? But let's not look at let's take a good look at this list, at J. Cole's feature list, right? I have time today. Don't worry, I got time today. First feature we got, right? Blood for Blow, T Grizzly, right? Killed him. ASAP Rocky, Ruby Rosary, killed him. Drake, first person shooter, killed him. Lil Yachty, Secret Recipe, killed him. Future, Red Leather, killed him. Dirk, All My Life, killed him. Gucci Man, There I Go, killed him. Drake, Evil Ways, killed him again. Nicki Minaj, killed her. Burna Boy, killed him. Johnny P's caddy, do we even have to talk about that? 90 Proof Smino, killed him. London Bia, killed her. Waterboys, Earth Game, JID, I don't think Cole killed them. I think everybody held their own in that one. But Scared Money, YG, your money bag, yo, killed them. Who else? Stressed, Young Thug, killed him. Poke It Out, Wale, killed him. Jonah Lucas, Your Heart, killed him. Do I have to keep going? About the niggas who he has killed a lot? 21 Savage, killed him. Big Crit, killed him. Jeezy, killed him. Jay-Z, killed him. Why are we acting like he is not that guy? Why are we acting like if he hops on a track with you, it is over for you? Daylight, Ab-Soul, killed them niggas. Daylight twice. He killed Daylight twice. What are we talking about? What are we? Come on. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Let's be so for real. What is the conversation? What is the conversation? Now, I do think that this battle will be better than most people expect it or think it could be, right? Just because I have respect for both of these guys. I respect both of them as artists. I respect both of them as creators. I feel like they can both create great disses and great projects. Now, will Cole go that route with Freddie Gibbs? I personally wouldn't. I don't think Freddie Gibbs is worth the time. If you're not going to do it with Kendrick, I'm damn sure not doing it with a nigga like Freddie fucking Gibbs. Hell no. Nigga, you need some more shit under your belt before you come up. Nigga, I went double platinum with no features in 2014, nigga. When that shit ain't happened in 25 years, nigga. What are you talking about? And I did it again. And then I did it again after that. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like I started hitting my prime in 2020. In 2021, when the off season started, I started hitting my prime. What are we talking about, bro? Like, come on. I think Freddie Gibbs, but also Freddie Gibbs is a world-renowned troll. So I don't know if he really feels this way or he might be trolling. It might be a little bit of both. He might really feel this way, but he also might be trolling, and it might be a dibble dabble into both areas. You know, Freddie Gibbs loves stirring a pot. He loves stirring a good little stew. And again, this is no hate towards Freddie Gibbs. I love Freddie Gibbs. I love Freddie Gibbs' music. Alfredo is, to me, it's a classic album. But at the same time, man, like you can't talk about Cole like he's just a regular nigga. And that's how you're approaching him. Like, oh, this nigga talking about X, Y, and Z and act like he killing rappers and act like you're talking to the nigga like his resume isn't that. And that's where my problem is, right? You're talking to that nigga like he's little bro, you're big bro. Like, that nigga won't come to your trap and take over your trap. And I'm not underestimating Freddie Gibbs' ability rapping wise, but I'm just saying I've seen Cole do it before. I've seen Cole come to niggas' trap and take over niggas' trap. I've seen him do it before. He did it with Big Sean. He's done it with Wale countless times. I will come to your trap and I will take over your trap. Freddie Gibbs, I don't think you are ready for that. Whether you're ready on a lyrical level, I think you will be. But in like the competition, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little messy here. Y'all know I love the mess. Last thing on the docket, I'm trying to keep this really quick. Y'all, hey, it's not looking good for your boy. All right, lastly, right? Would these people help scratch your itchy eyes, right? Would these people help with your itchy eyes? That could be anything that would seem small to anybody else in the world, but is a big deal to you. Would your friends around you help with your itchy eyes? It's not looking good for y'all boy. It's not looking good for y'all boy. Somebody needs to go check on y'all boy. It's not looking good for him. Diddy's lawyer said, "Hey, brother, I'm sorry, I can't do it." He said the man said, "I can't do it." Listen, man, Anthony Rico filed a surprise motion to withdraw as one of Diddy's planned 6 defense attorneys, saying under no circumstance can I continue, weeks before trial was set to start. Now, everybody's wondering, what did this nigga see that made him say these things, right? And I was wondering the same thing. But first, I wanted to know, who was this guy and why do people care so much about who he is and all of the things? Like, why do people care that he withdrew from the case? So what? So what? So what, right? It's a lawyer. Diddy can get another one. He can afford it. Not a nigga like him, though. Right? So he works specifically on 45 death penalty cases, right? And according to the article I'm reading, some niggas are living because of him. So there's a lot of people that owe Mr. Rico their lives because he saved them from the death penalty. For example, it was this person by the name of, hold on. Let me find it. It's right here. Okay. Andre Cooper. When aged between 17 and 23, was an active member of a gang known as the Boyle Street Boys, right? He was found guilty of numerous counts, including murder, conspiracy of murder, tampering with witnesses, drug dealing, and possession of a gun. He was first sentenced to the death penalty. He was supposed to die. Mr. Rico allowed him to just get a life sentence. Now, I know what y'all are sitting here saying. Bro, a life sentence? He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison? Brother, he was about to get the death penalty. He is lucky with that resume. Murder, conspiracy of murder, tampering with witnesses, drug dealing, possession of a gun. If he was about to get the death penalty for that, imagine what Diddy's about to get, right? Dog. So the fact that he can see that, right, and be like, okay, nah, we can get you off, that's crazy. But that's not it. He also defended Jelani Solomon, who was accused of drug and murder charges and was successfully argued for a life sentence instead of the death penalty in her case as well. So not only did he get one person off, he got 2 people off of the death penalty and gave them a life sentence. This is the kicker, though. This is the kicker, and this is the whole kill. Guess who else Mr. Rico represented? In 2001, this nigga represented Osama bin Laden. He represented Osama bin Laden. Yes, the terrorist. Yes, the terrorist. The Osama bin Laden. Not only did he represent Osama bin Laden, but he represented Osama bin Laden's associates, right? And then he got them niggas off the death penalty too, after they tried to bomb the American embassy in Kenya and Tanzania and Kenya. Tanzania and Kenya, they try to bomb the American embassies, and guess what? Them niggas is serving life in prison too. They got off the death penalty. So if he can get murderers, drug dealers, niggas who's tampering with witnesses, people possession of firearms, conspiracy of murder, terrorists, people who's gonna bomb embassies. What did he see in this Diddy case where he was like, hey, listen, my brother, I can no longer participate in these festivities. I'm gonna have to politely back out, right? Listen, hold on. There are sufficient reasons related to the protections. Hold on. Oh, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for my withdrawal in the counsel of this case, right? What I found out is that he's not 100% off the case. Excuse me, the judge has to approve the request if there's a sufficiently valid reason. But it seems to me we can't know the reason behind him withdrawing from the case after this case is closed. So I need them to hurry up with this case very quickly. I need to know what he saw to where he was like, hey, listen, you got 5 other lawyers, you won't be missing me. Peace. Deuces. And it was he's a black guy. He's a brother. He might be the only brother on the team. And that says a lot about the community. Never mind. I'm not gonna go into that. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of Arsenal Podcast. Before we get out of here, I will give y'all my Dead or Alive before we what is Dead or Alive? Dead or Alive is a segment on the podcast where me or the artist gets to choose an artist that we would like to work with that is dead or alive. Now we can choose one artist, we can choose 100 artists. This is my pod. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna choose Cole, Freddie Gibbs, Anthony Rico, Freddie Gibbs, J. Cole, and the homies that prayed over me at church. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Arsenal Podcast. If you don't know, I have an Instagram. And you can follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. And if you also don't know, the podcast has an Instagram. And you can follow the podcast at Arts Block Podcast. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, or whatever it is, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a podcast. That is on YouTube. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, please give me a 5-star in a review. Just say that this is the greatest pod you have ever heard in your life, and that will suffice. Remember that artists never die. Remember that God loves you. I love you. Do something that you love every single day. Do it with meaning, do it with purpose, do it well, do it with love. I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all, boys. Am I missing something? Did we get everything? I think we got everything. All right, peace.